Hello, this is Mrs. Brown reviewing area of composite figures. Now remember, composite figures are objects like shapes that aren't normal shapes. It looks like there's different parts of shapes in it. So for instance, this looks like a triangle and a semicircle. So actually, in order to find the area of this strange shape, we find the area of the triangle, we find the area of the semicircle, and then we just add them together, and that will give me my area. Remember, you did do this in 6th grade. However, you didn't have circle parts, but we already learned how to do that earlier this quarter. So if you take a look, the formula for the area of a triangle, let's go ahead and start with that one. The area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. So if I take a look, 8 is my base. Here's my right angle for the triangle, and my height would be 6. So I just substitute in the values. 1/2 times 8 times 6. Half of 8 is 4. Times 6 is going to be 24. So the area of the triangle is 24. Now we're going to take a look at the semicircle. Remember, we're going to treat it like a regular circle, and at the end, we're going to divide by 2. Okay, so the area of a circle is pi r squared. The problem is right now I have a diameter because 6 represents this entire space. So the first thing I want to do is figure out what the radius is, and the radius is half the size of the diameter. Since my diameter is 6, oops, that's supposed to be a 2, my radius is going to be 3. So the area of a circle, pi, we're going to use 3.14 times 3 squared because my radius is 3. So 3 squared is 3 times 3, which is 9, times 3.14. That's going to give me 2826. That is the area of a full circle with a radius of 3. Since I have a semicircle, I'm going to take that number and divide by 2, okay, because it's half a circle. When I divide that, I should get 1413. Now that I have my area here, this one is 1413, and the area of the triangle is 24. My final step is just to add those two together. So I take 1413 plus 24.00. When I add those up, my final answer is going to be 38 and 1300ths. Okay, so again, we're going to find the area of one shape, the regular shapes, find the area of the other shape, and then add those two areas together. Sometimes you may need to break it into 3 normal shapes or 4 normal shapes. So it's sometimes more than just 2, but it's the same basic idea. It's kind of like thinking about when we talked about surface area, how we found the separate areas of the faces and then added them together. This is the same idea. We're finding the separate areas of the different normal shapes and then adding them together to figure out the total area. Okay, let's take a look at another example. Okay, so for here, we have what looks like a triangle on top and a trapezoid on the bottom. So this is the formula for a triangle. It's still the same, and the formula for the area of a trapezoid. Now, if you're unfamiliar, again, the height, just like at a triangle, needs to be at a right angle to the base, except there's 2 bases on a trapezoid. So there's base 1 and base 2. This formula where you see 1/2 times the sum of base 1, base 2, basically we're taking the average of the 2 bases. That's what we're doing. You add 2 things together and divide by 2. That's an average. So that we're basically kind of treating it like a rectangle once we've averaged the bases and multiplying it by the height. So it looks like a complicated kind of crazy formula, but really what we're doing is averaging the 2 different length bases together so that we can kind of treat it like a rectangle and do base times height. Okay, so if we take a look, my formula for a trapezoid equals 1/2 the first base plus the second base times the height. So 1/2 times, we've got 8 and 6 and 4. Okay, 8 plus 6 is 14. I take half of 14 is 7. So 7 times 4 is 28. So the area of my trapezoid is going to be 28. Okay. Now let's talk triangle because I don't have a height. Okay. I know the base of this triangle could be used as 6. If I were to draw this height down at a right angle, the question is how tall is that? Because I need a base and a height in order to use my formula for the area of a triangle. Okay, so when I look at this, the whole thing from the very top to the very bottom is 7, and to this line that I'm using as my base is 4. So 7 minus 4 is 3, so I know the height of my triangle is 3. Okay, so the area of my triangle is 1/2 times base, so it's 6 and 3 is the height. Half of 6 is going to be 3 times 3 is 9. My final step, now that I know this area is 9 and this area is 28, is to add those two together. So 9 plus 28 is going to give me 37. And so the area of this shape is 37. Okay. I hope this helps as a refresher. If you have any questions, you know where to find me, and have a fabulous day.